saying? I mean, he needs to start respecting my manhood. Shit, I went to college.
That's right, baby. You did.
That's right, baby. I did. You know, it's like that phone call I got the other day. Pop's too afraid about me handling the business and stuff. But baby, I got ideas. I mean, you know I got ideas. It's like, shit, I am an idea. Come on.
This is the warm-up. Say the gym again, Pat.
Never. But I'll say it again.
Never?
It's
Okay.
coming. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
He's going to say it several times throughout
Like
the podcast.
100 times. But first, I guess we probably need to do it.
Yeah, give me the AM radio intro.
Oh wait, we were doing that because I mean this is a different shade. We're doing you're on the DL with Delroy Lindo.
Oh,
Like we gotta bring something different.
Do you have other music, Pat?
Of course. All right,
some
let's
jazzy?
let's see how this one goes. Ken, you're on.
What? Oh,
Oh, yeah, you brought this on yourself, Ken.
turn me up in the headphones.
I'm serious, nigga. I can't hear out of this ear. Turn my headphones up.
I can't.
Can you hear now?
What?
What?
It's very faint. But you're dialed into On the DL. That's right. Your favorite podcast about Delroy Lindo and all his amazing films. Bringing us today is our host and moderators, Kareem and the Ginger Giant Pat.
Hello, everybody.
It's our first
We're
try.
gonna
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
For
it's- I
NPR
like it.
bringing. I don't know.
It's awesome.
We can work on it. We'll work on it.
You gotta do a lot of
Workshop that.
enunciation into the microphone.
That's
Almost
right.
ASMR like.
Hey everyone, we're here to talk about Delroy Lindo's movies.
Is that
and
microphone in your
specifically
mouth?
Romeo Must Die.
I like your NPR style. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I shouldn't have got the microphone made of Oreos. That was my mistake.
You're just talking to a corner of the cob, aren't you? It's not plugged in anything.
And sorry.
And oh, la-di-da, mister. I don't have money for a corn cob microphone.
Oh, a lot of anti-corn on the cob sentiment that I'm not a fan of. I got to be honest.
My bad. Yeah, we're talking about Delroy Lindo. This is our spinoff pod from the Tangential Giants podcast franchise. We're going to be doing, as the title implies, we're going to talk about Delroy
series,
Lindo,
if you will.
Yeah, it's a deep dive into Delroy Lindo, and we're hoping to expand this into more actors that have DL in the initials. So, if you got any suggestions or themes, let us know. But right now, thankfully, DL's got a. Go ahead.
Does DL Hughley count?
Yes.
He will, unfortunately.
He's
got some
on
troublesome
the
takes.
list.
All right.
But thankfully for us, Delroy Lindo's got an extensive film and theater career, so we could be here for years doing Delroy Lindo stuff. But we thought it'd be nice to at least give the man his flowers while he's alive. And if he ever listens to this, we would love for him to come on the pod.
You could write me a check.
And maybe offer one of his favorite, if he has one, a Jamaican recipe. I don't know if him or his family cooks or whatever, but we do know that he's Jamaican, so we're gonna ask him if he ever shows up.
You could write me a check.
Enough rambling, but we're gonna give you an overview of Delroy himself. Just a quick one before we get into one of the movies, and we're not gonna do this in chronological order. So those of you who are like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait 35 episodes before they get to all the good 90s movies," no, we're gonna give you one of the good ones up front. And then we have an interesting one that he did with John Candy way back in the day that I watched last year that we should really definitely cover because it is chock full of stuff that is appropriate to talk about these days. Yeah.
So episode 2 will be that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Kareem, who do we have joining us on the podcast today?
LL Cool J is joining us, ladies and gentlemen. He
Woo!
for some reason his lower third says emo, but it is LL Cool J.
Wait, his head is like a shark's fin?
It's always been like that.
Deepest,
Okay,
bluest.
I mean, ladies
Queens represent, baby.
Yeah. I think he's on the set of CSI right now, so you know that's why it looks like that. Is that the show that LL Cool J is on? I don't know.
It's Ace.
I know him and Robin
the
are on
one
the show
with
together.
with Robin. It's with him with
Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell, right?
Yeah, it's one of the CSSs.
Isn't
Bruce.
that it's NCIS LA, right?
NCISLA SUV TX.
Maybe it's I don't remember. Yeah.
Tell people
As long
about
as it's
yourself.
not FBI colon CIA. That's why we're starting to lose my shit. That's
They just don't even that. And I can tell you right now, before you say anything, that's got to be ChatGPT, and they just said run with it.
Wow.
That's
Just the way an editor is going, like it doesn't make any sense any way you read it.
It doesn't
So
matter.
is the
Cut,
CIA
print,
part of the
let's go.
FBI? Is a subdivision of the what?
That's what they think.
Yeah.
It's like Dallas.
I mean, here's
Florida.
the stupid thing. They're like, the average American doesn't know this. I mean, the average American potentially voted for a moron, so why would they know the difference?
A third of America. We gotta keep saying this. A third of America voted for
A third of
not
America,
not
but
half.
there's also a third there that just bothered not to show up too. So
because they were too busy waiting for CSI FBI to show up.
Which, by the way, is another spinoff soon enough. I'm sure of.
No, and that one actually makes sense though, at least.
That one, at least that one makes sense. I think the FBI has a CSI team.
Not two different divisions.
Yeah.
Do you think we can get CBS to sponsor the podcast with all this talk?
We've said enough of their shows already.
Like
I've been
Paramount,
trying to push.
I think owes us money.
I was trying to push from the get-go for ABC to pick up NYPD Blue, FN or what FDNY
like
Red. That one was at least like, okay, why not? Like, at least we're keeping up the theme.
And is that like a spy versus spy kind of thing? Do the two branches just go after each other?
It's like Tacoma FD, but less fun.
No, then I want no part of this shit.
No, more kissing though. Way more kissing.
Ooh.
You got me back.
Things are gonna get hot in the firehouse this Saturday.
But hold on, this is network
Tune
TV
in
though.
ABC
It's really
7.
just kissing.
No,
not anymore. They gotta get butts in the seats. Now it's just hardcore.
And they still get Zipwitz's naked butt. They still have Zipwitz's naked butt.
That's the only butt they show though. Whenever they show someone's butt, they just.
Are you gonna tell me what I want to know, or am I gonna have to show you my ass? I ain't saying nothing. All right, it was Jimmy the Hat.
It's always
go to Sipowitz's ass.
Just a steal.
Oh, but Sipowitz does it.
That's all he ever does.
All right, Bruce, who the hell are you?
Did you say where am I or how the hell am I?
Who are
none
you?
of those?
Who am I?
He's asking for your bona fides.
Yeah, tell people about yourself real quick.
Your name, your social security number, you know.
My address.
Yeah,
my favorite position, all that good stuff. Yeah,
all the good stuff.
Do I got to get my full or just
no,
name?
Just whatever you want to tell people.
Just your
right.
title.
Okay. I am. Yeah, my name is Bruce. I am I don't even know what my current occupation is right now. USPS.
Hustler.
Kind of.
Hustler.
Oh yes, hustler. Yes. Hustler, washed up football player, former coach. How you guys doing?
Perfect.
We're good to have you, Bruce. We
this is the gate.
This is your first time on the pod, so we are happy to have you, and we hope that you come back after this.
Depending on how.
Of course, I have more free time.
Great. So it's Pat, myself, and Ken. We're all here. Let me just get into Delroy's bio, unless Pat has anything else he wants to join in real quick.
I'll say my jackass comments for a moment.
Okay. Delroy George Lindo was born November 18th, 1952 in Lewisham, London, England. So but he's also Jamaican. His mother's a nurse, immigrated to the UK in 1951. His father worked various jobs. Lindo moved to Toronto with his mother when he was a teenager, and later to San Francisco, which is the spot of the movie we're going to be talking about later. So San Francisco is going to come up several times.
Well, really Oakland.
Wait, so then
technically Canada still. So we've come full circle.
Yeah, did he just show up here? Did he outlive his visa? Good heavens! Already we're going to be worried about.
We got a whole deportation section for Delroy. Sorry, Delroy. You're getting thrown to the chipper. He developed an interest in acting as a child and attended the American Conservatory Theater, graduating in 1971. Early in his career, Lindo made his film debut in the 1976 Canadian comedy Find the Lady, which is the movie I was telling you guys at the top with John Candy. He played an army sergeant in it. He also played in More American Graffiti in 1979. His early career was more focused on theater, which again we'll cover some of the theater stuff he does throughout this overview of the man's life. In 1982, he debuted on Broadway in Master Harold and the Boys, directed by the play's author Athol Fugard. I think I chopped that up badly, but he doesn't listen, so who cares? By 1988, Lindo earned a Tony nomination for his portrayal
Feel free,
of Harold.
Delroy, Mr. Lindo,
Yeah.
please.
Yes,
Just hit
please.
up, just up on Twitter or Blue Sky or what.
Oh
have
no, I'm
you.
not saying Delroy's not listening. I'm saying whoever Athol Fugard is.
Oh yeah. 'Cause, I mean, Delroy's for sure gonna be.
He's definitely listening.
You could write me a check.
Yeah.
He got a Tony nomination for his portrayal of Harold Loomis in August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone. His breakthrough and Spike Lee collaborations are what I think most people are going to be really focused on. Lindo's career gained a significant attention with his roles as West Indy Archie in Spike Lee's Malcolm X, which I thought was, I don't know if any of you guys recall that, but that was a pretty amazing role. And again, we'll revisit that later. And that movie came out in 1992. The performance showcased his talent and led to more prominent roles in Spike Lee films. There's a bit of a note that he has in an interview where he talks about being in theater with Denzel Washington. And that's what kind of helped him get more roles in Spike Lee, because Spike Lee kept going back to Denzel. It wasn't like Denzel was like, hey, I hired this guy because I like him or know him, but it was just the fact that, he trusts Denzel's opinion and the stuff that he's been in. So he was like, hey, Delroy can get in some more stuff with me.
Nice.
He was also in Woody Carmichael in Crooklyn, which is, again, another Spike Lee joint. Rodney Little in Clockers in 1995, and Paul in The Five Bloods, which was a Netflix thing that came out in 2020. His performance in The Five Bloods won him the New York Film Critics Award for Best Actor and the National Society of Film Critics Award for Best Actor as well. Some of his diverse roles started in like I said, the 90s, which is, again, where the movie we're going to talk about kind of comes into play. Lindo continued to take diverse roles, including Bo Cattle and Get Shorty. I totally forgot about that, but we'll go back to that.
He's
Arthur
like
Rose,
the main protagonist.
yeah, and Arthur
Scum,
Rose in
right over
Cider House Rules, which was, I think, another one of those defining things, and Detective Castlebeck in Gone in 60 Seconds. I will never forget that.
You seem to have left out Congo.
Oh, there's more, Pat. Like the guy's got an extensive career.
50
These
years.
are some of these diverse roles. He also starred in TV series such as The Chicago Code in 2011, Believe in 2014, and The Good Fight from 2017 to 2021. And I'll give you a little bit of his accolades, and then we'll jump into the movies. But Lindo's powerful performance on stage and screen has earned him numerous accolades, including the NAACP Image Award, a Satellite Award, and a nomination for a Drama Desk Award, a Helen Hayes Award. I have no idea what the hell that is, but it sounds impressive. He's got a Tony Award.
Helen Hayes.
Oh, so is that like an Angie List Award?
Yeah, no, and just Helen comes out, gives you an award. She's really nice.
As long as you don't get an award from Karen, I guess you're okay.
Yeah, that's exactly.
He's got 2 Critics' Choice Awards for television awards, 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards. Delroy Lindo's first 30 years in the acting world were marked by a steady rise to prominence with significant contributions to both theater and film. His collaborations with Spike Lee and his versatile performance have cemented his legacy. Unfortunately, after all these accolades, the man doesn't have an Academy Award. If I could start pitching for one right now, I think you should get one. Because he's one of those, I think he's beyond a character actor. He's not one of those kind of guys like, I remember him in that movie. It's like, no, this is DL. And he usually is, to Pat's point, kind of a main leg in most things that he is in. I also would go ahead, Pat.
I would say he's not always the main character, but he's always an important character.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, if he is in it, it shows a certain level of quality that you're gonna have.
Yeah. He's a very strong second. Like he's he's to the point that it's likely he hasn't been given the opportunity to be the first man, and that's for any number of reasons, which we can cover, obviously. But it's like when he's in that, you know that they're gonna have some. So he's got acting chops, and he's there for it. Like the role that I think of often is Ransom, against when he's the agent that's trying to help Mel Gibson get his kid back.
Give me back my son!
And he's decisive. He's trying to help him. His wife's trying to, he's being pulled in so many different directions, and he's trying to give the best advice possible. That's probably the one that one of the first ones on my radar. Otherwise, it was The Hard Way with Michael J. Fox and not Ed Wood, what the heck? James Woods. That's where I like the first time I saw him in something. But yeah, like in a movie like Ransom, where you have so many strong actors, he definitely still stands shoulder to shoulder with a lot of them.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that I think we need to find, or I don't know, maybe there already is a defined category for this, but it's the father/mentor role that I believe Pedro Pascal is kind of filling right now for a lot of movies. I feel like Delroy kind of, maybe he didn't pioneer it, but I've in the time I've been watching movies and TVs for the last 37, 47 years, have had that knowledge. He's filled that role. He's always either been a mentor-esque, even if he's like a criminal, like he was a mentor in Malcolm X, to Malcolm X, even though he was like a mob boss kind of. He was a mentor, even mentoring Nicolas Cage as he was hunting him in Gone in 60 Seconds. He's been the father figure in a ton of stuff. And so
This Christmas.
Exactly. He was like, yeah, the main one. So I'm like, there's got to be, if there's an award section for that, or just a filler, I don't know, maybe it's an industry term that they use. Like, we need someone to fill this blank section. I feel like that he was the go-to guy for a long time for that, especially for
like
Black
Danny, like Danny Trujillo. Danny.
You mean for like the mobster Mexican guy?
Well, yeah. I mean, something like that. His roles.
I can actually beat that guy in there.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's like on the casting call, they have terms for these, and they're like, I need a blank. Can you find me a Delroy Lindo type?
Yeah.
But I feel like right now they've been saying, okay, can you find me a Pedro Pascal type? Because he's been filling those, like if you look at the movies he's been in, it's like, oh, he's the mentor/dad in the last, I don't know, 7 projects he's been in.
Yeah, like for at one point he might have been like, "Hey, it's that guy." Now you're like, "No, that's Delroy Lindo. He's a known name. He's a known commodity."
Oh, definitely. And for those people that are still kind of drawing a blank, he's been known for the racist GIF, which I love. It's not even a GIF; it's really just like a clip where he's on network television. He's playing in the role of network television, and there's a guy sitting across from a white guy who's talking about diversity and racism and whatnot. And Delroy Lindo's egging him on to say, because he knows he wants to say the word that a lot of, I don't know, devout racists like to kind of throw out there and then have plausible deniability.
Go ahead.
Yeah, say it.
Say it.
You want to say it? I'll say it with you.
So say it. Say what? Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay, this is hypocritical. You know we can't.
Sure you can. This is America. Both of you. Say it.
I'll put the clip in here as we're talking, but you'll know.
It looks so real.
Anything else? That's what you're looking for on the internet, because you've seen it and you've seen other people use it. With that being said, we're going to jump into our first movie for Delroy, and we'll bring up some other facts and stuff as we go through it. But I've talked enough about his intro. Pat, do you want to kind of give us an overview of the movie? I put it in the OneNote if you want to use that, or you can just wing it from the top because you're pretty good at that.
I will see what I can do, and we'll just
you can
see
do
how
both.
it goes.
Yeah,
I will do both.
It's not.
So you know what? I'm not starting off great. Let me dust myself off and try again.
There he is.
All
right, thank you.
Known as Romeo Must Die. Sorry, Romeo, you gotta die. Movie came out in the year 2000. I want to give the exact date.
It was
March
2000.
24th, 2000. Simpler time, man. Simpler time.
Way back there.
I remember this movie being one of the big, I think this was like Jet Li's second or third US only movie. And it was really in the height of, we're going to take like Jet Li and jam him into films and just let him go to town. And he just had that string of like action movies where I think he fought like, I know DMX is prominently involved in a couple of them.
Well, that's because the director who does this goes on to do like Cradle to Grave, or wait, no, sorry,
which is the DMX one.
Yeah, and DMX is in this one, and like they do, he's like, no, this is my oeuvre. These are my trilogy that are all soft.
Well, this is the era, and I think this is kind of the tail off of the rap rock thing that kind of came and hit hard and hit fast. It was a lot of we're gonna mash genres together in the late 90s, early 2000s. We don't know what to do with these two things, but if they could be like peanut butter and jelly, we can make some money, and that's what
Like,
I kept thinking.
There was definitely a fairly racist Hollywood executive that said, black people like kung fu movies. Let's get that Jet Li in there and put him with DMX and go.
Guys.
Definitely happened.
I just heard about this group called Wu-Tang Clan. I think we could do something with this.
It's perfect.
This group of black guys who love kung fu.
Yeah, we got this.
I mean, this
And
is
then,
right after Lethal Weapon 4 that he makes his, I believe, American debut. Like, he's in other things as well, but those are mostly overseas. And I think the main thing that hits for him here in the States is Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah, but I think this is his first, Lethal Weapon 4. Like, Jet Li is the...
No, I'm saying he's a star. He is number one on the call sheet.
Well,
I would say that this, like...
He's 1A because this is also the Aaliyah movie.
Absolutely.
The first one. And the only one.
Queen of the Damned.
When she was alive. Happened. You didn't let me finish. This is the only movie that premiered while she was alive.
Queen of the Damned came out after she died?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was posthumously released.
That's how it made more money. Sad.
Unfortunately, maybe.
I'm sorry, it just wasn't that good. I don't know what
it wasn't a good movie. We're gonna keep it real, but
all right. So
your second one now. So
if we're gonna be honest, this movie is most known for the song "Try Again" by Aaliyah. Like everybody, if you are of a certain age, you know that song, and probably if you're not of a certain age, because they use it a lot in memes and everywhere else. Like it's I think it's Timberland is involved in this,
producing it.
Yes. So that is really what, if we're talking about anything, it's known for.
How dare you, sir? This is known for the Anthony Anderson Comedy Hour.
I was about to say, this is also
this is back when he was like fat and funny.
This
is
Ozempic
and melancholy.
Wow.
No, this is funny Anthony Anderson the first go around before he was serious. This is before The Shield and all that stuff. This is just him being funny. No Law and Order yet, none of that.
How about when you were a kid? 13, 14, fat, not very popular. Burying your head under the covers to drown out the screams of your baby sister? Your 6-year-old sister that your daddy raped night after night? And you couldn't stop it, could you? Too much of a coward to confront your old man, but not your mama. She emptied 2 loads of buckshot into his gut. So daddy's dead, baby sister's in the psych ward, and your mama, she's doing life in Chino. All because you couldn't come out from under the covers. But oh boy, are you making up for it now.
So this is the first round, and I think he's probably still doing stand-up at this point, right?
I think.
This is
TV shows.
Well, this is this before or after Harold and Kumar, where he's like in the drive-thru, he's like, "Pookie, let's burn this mother down!" And like,
this is before.
Yeah,
this is before. Yeah,
this is kind of this is arcing into that. Like he's getting prominence here, and he'll show up in other things, but it's. Again,
like Kangaroo Jack?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So
it's crazy too, because it's like he has, like, if you look at the 2000s block, he's got like 7 films that
7 bangers. You damn right he does.
It's just like, and some of them are like just like, he's in 3 Strikes as a prison guard, but it's not even a speaking role because it's unconfirmed and uncredited. But then it's like he's in Ally McBeal, Big Mama's House, Foo Fighters music video. Me, Myself, and Irene. That's another time where I'm like, oh, okay, that guy. I remember him.
Yeah, he's the son.
Urban Legends Final Cut.
He's in Exit Wounds. He continues along this fall.
Exactly. Like,
he's in.
I was gonna.
Sorry, again, I apologize. Jumped in.
That gets excited.
The director was just like, no, I love these guys. I'm bringing them back for multiple things.
This guy was the Martin Scorsese of black hip hop kung fu movies.
I mean, someone had to be, right. So he's like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna fill that void. I'm for it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, why not?
I watched them. Yeah, I watched them all. So, but keep going, Pat.
All right. So the movie itself is actually about the evils of the NFL. If we're gonna be really honest about it,
it really is.
It's basically about a gang war happening between. I want to say they literally are the triad, but it's
I don't know what they're called.
It's unnamed because they're just generic.
I mean, it says it's as part of the overview that we scraped, i.e., AI. We kind of AI'd it. We just pulled it actually from Wikipedia. They
Why,
use
why
they
would you
say they
admit
call
that publicly? That's just
because everyone uses Wikipedia. It's okay to use Wikipedia. I didn't AI.
yeah,
it.
but
I just said I
Wikipedia
use
isn't AI though.
No,
You're not
Someone
I'd rather
in there
admit to
typed
using
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia than using AI. They use
Exactly.
Po Sing, which is the youngest son of the Chinese triad boss. So
Yes.
they do it officially
So-
called the Chinese triad.
Okay, yeah. So it's the Chinese triad versus a black gang in Oakland, California. And all of this is happening. There is a gang war happening. The youngest son of the head of the Chinese triad gang is killed, and that brings his brother, who has been in prison.
He's tossed out of a window, by the way.
Yes. Well, a lot of people get
No.
tossed out of a window.
No,
No, wait,
he's
no,
not.
he isn't.
No,
No,
he's
you're
not?
way jumping ahead. You're
No.
jumping ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly.
sorry.
Shut your bitch ass up!
All
Let the
right,
man
calm
do
down.
his job.
Calm down,
I got my
calm
window
down.
falls mixed up.
God. His death leads to his brother, Jet Li, who is character is Han, who's in prison in Hong Kong, leads to him escaping prison to go investigate in Oakland because
Hold on.
that's easy to do and can happen.
Before you jump any further in it, though,
Yeah.
you do have to mention that he's a cop in prison, and we don't know why.
I didn't get there. We went. No, I
Okay.
do know why. He went to prison because he did so that his brother and father could escape.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Now
That's not revealed until later
impor-
on because
Yeah.
it just starts with Poe hanging out in a club that's run by DMX with some sexy ladies, and he's like, yes, continue dancing. You're very sexy.
Yeah.
And then the dude walks up, he's like, you better get out of here because I don't like you. It's like let the man just have his time. Like he's hanging out, having a good time. What's the problem here?
Well, it should be noted he is in the one of the black clubs, and that is a no-no right now because gang war, not great.
Yeah.
So there's problems there.
Yeah, there's problems with that. So then he gets a little bit of a ruckus, and then guess who shows up? But Russell Wong, his protector, who by the way, I should have found a way at some point earlier to bring in Russell Wong because he is one of my favorite 90s actors because he had a show. There was a spin-off of the movie series Vanishing Son where his brother he's trying to find his brother in America after being separated due to internal strife within the first few movies, and then it turns into a show, and Russell Wong goes around America trying to find his brother, and it's awesome and fun, and it's one of the few Asian American stories and with a focus on an Asian character in the 90s. It was great for me.
Yeah.
And so, but Russell Wong shows up. I'm like, hell yeah, Russell Wong, let's go. But yeah, he plays. I'm sorry, I have the name, but don't know if you have it. Who's
do.
Russell play?
Let me get up to it. Russell Wong plays Kai.
Kai, yes, he
Yes,
plays
he
Kai,
plays
and
Kai.
he's the protector of Poe, and he's like, okay, let's just go ahead and let's call it a night. Let's go get out of here. Then some people decide, they want to find out. They decide to fuck around, so they do it.
He is the right-hand man of Henry O's character, Chu Sing.
Yes, the father of Poe
the father
and Han,
and the patriarch of the Chinese triad gang.
Yeah, it's more of a handler for what's his name.
No. This is where the titular Delroy Lindo comes in because he is the patriarch of the other side of the equation. He plays Isaak O'Day. Let me double check, make sure I said that correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you're right.
Yes, Isaak O'Day. Yes,
Isaac with 2 A's.
With 2 A's and a
K.
Yes. So Poe is I lost my place. All right. So Poe is murdered. Kai finds him. This leads to Han coming back. Basically, the entire plot revolves around the NFL is trying to build a stadium in Oakland. That's the entire thing. They want to build a stadium in Oakland. And Isaak O'Day is trying to basically get the land and get it to the NFL so they can build that stadium because it's a big land deal. It's going to be worth millions of dollars. Millions. I want to say it's $58 million, which this now would be $1 billion. So
yeah, it's laughable now.
Yes, it's nothing.
But it's all the okay. I do want to preface that because I'm a ridiculous pedant and we all know this. So it's not Kai that finds him. It's just a kid who's doing a paper route or leaving the house, looks up, sees Poe hanging from a tree in the black side of Brooklyn area. I'm not sure exactly where this is supposed to be at certain times. And so just a random kid finds him. Then word gets back to the Kai and then back to Father Singh. And then you also find out that Then we cut to the O'Day house where Mac is having a few words, and he comes up. He's like, tells Isaac, "Hey, like this is what's going on." And he's like, "All right, let's set up a meeting with Singh." And they go, and I think they go to an airport. It looks like because they go through metal detectors, so they're trying to show like, "Oh no, we're trying to set up a neutral ground." And Isaac comes to Papa Singh, is like, "Hey, I'm sorry for your loss." And Papa Singh's like, "Yeah, you don't. It's keep your words for yourself." And he's kind of standoffish, and it's a little bit. I mean, it's this entire time you don't know who did what, or why they did it. So you're kind of like, okay, so we're learning bit by bit. These two are in an uneasy alliance, trying to manage either side of their cartels. So
they're in an alliance because they're both working on a joint deal for this NFL thing. And so
but we don't know about the NFL aspect of it until probably halfway through.
Yeah, no, but it's fine. But if you're listening to this right now, spoiler alert, go watch the movie.
What? Honey. Wow. Are you kidding me? You just ruin it every time. I'll see you at home.
Well, wait a second.
Rude.
Now, how would you not know that was taking place?
You should have watched it.
Fine.
You should watch
You can watch it on YouTube in clips right now. Like it's there. You're
Yeah,
good.
I mean, the overall premise is implied early on, though, obviously, that
it's a land. It's a land grab.
Well, not only that, but just that at least the way that it's shot and cut and edited, that it's implied that the Black Gang had something to do with this, because you get the fight tussle, and then you get what would essentially be the resolution of him being, found hung in the neighborhood. So it's led to believe like, okay, they must have caught up to him after he left the party, and this is the result of that. That's at least how you're led to believe by the way it's edited.
Yeah, that's how they get you. So Delroy Lindo's character, Isaac.
I'll say about then is when we see a bunch of people show up to a Chinese prison, and then new people arrive and show up, and word gets to Han that like I bet there's multiple times where people lean in to tell people something, and I'm like,
a lot of whispering.
They whisper, but they're not saying anything. There's like you're not saying anything. Don't like give me something here. Like they non-whisper talk to someone, and then boom, the person's all right. He starts a fight in the mess hall, and he gets drug away, and Han's like, all right, well, this is where he's going to go to the hole now because he started a fight. So it's really unfortunate. He finds out about something, and we don't know what he found out, but
we also don't know that the time difference.
Yeah.
Things
word travels fast, real fast. Like keep your other card. Red card. Get your other red card.
Han breaks out of prison and in no time is able to fly to the U.S. We have the
no passport
funeral.
How does he get on a plane? Yeah, how does he get on a plane being a fugitive?
Pre 9/11.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's pre 9/11 that, he commandoed it. He rode on the landing gear until he got in, and then did a thing. Like it's fine. It's pre 9/11. I'll believe anything.
Pre 9/11, he had under 3 guns, so he was allowed on the plane.
Fair enough.
Okay, 3 gun minimum. Gotcha.
Yeah. At the funeral, Han shows up and blames his father for his brother's death. And at the same time, Isaac is concerned that even though Chu says that the deal is still on, he's concerned that he's going to look for retribution. So he puts security detail on his son, Colin, who, don't worry about it, it's fine. Like he'll be mentioned, but it's not a big deal. And Colin his daughter, Trish, played by Aaliyah, and the security detail that she gets is none other than Maurice or Anthony Anderson. Being hilarious, hitting on her every time they're on screen, just never shutting up, just doing his thing.
Yes,
just shooting it out. So Isaac and
but hold on, he has a crew too, by the way. It's not just him.
Yeah, it's him and like a bunch of guys that are just like there to get their ass beat by Jet Li every 10 minutes.
Basically, yeah.
I think at this point too, we do pop into a barber shop at one point, and the guy's getting a shave because you got to get a shave in time you're in a barber shop. Someone's getting a shave, and he's like, "Oh, we got a package delivered. Why don't you look what's inside this?" Boom! He got a box full of fire and it explodes, destroys the barber shop.
It's
pretty
quite
quickly.
the total shift.
And then pretty quickly we also get a newspaper like, oh, look what happened to this guy. It's like, oh man, he was a really good guy. He's like, yeah, I know. The shame. It's like we know that they're trying to clear out, like, just because we've been in these type of films before, we know that they're going to be trying to get people's deeds, and they start talking about like, oh well, we need a deed to that place, we need to get this, and we start to learn like, okay, they're just trying, it's a land grab thing, and for some reason, it's like, oh well, then are we supposed to believe that this is an attack for the gang thing? I'm like, I'm not buying that off the bat, because why would the Chinese gang triad care about an old barber shop other than just the territory thing? It's just like, that old man ain't doing nothing but hurting. He's giving people haircuts. Who cares? Leave the man alone. And they blow up his shop. So I'm like, this isn't jiving. I already know like something's up.
Ken is just cutting through the M. Night Shyamalan twists and turns of this movie and getting right to the meat of it. He's not being fooled. He's not being tricked. I do think it's important to note that Trish refuses, played by Aaliyah, refuses to be involved in her father's criminal activity. So she just runs her clothing shop, which is definitely not funded by the money from the criminal activity at all. Definitely no criminal money was put in. All right.
We could also mention too that her name is Alia. Is the
am I saying it wrong? Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. That's the correct pronunciation. It's like, because I saw a video of her pronouncing it like it's like Ali, like Muhammad Ali, so it's Alia, but like a hard emphasis on the A. But also, I heard it the opposite way for all X amount of years until just recently, so I understand the mistake, but just put it out there. Remember, anyone who has anything to upset about us, please send us emails at Emerald Knight. You go ahead and send it over there. It's fine. We'll do it there.
By chance, Han goes into Trish's clothing store and helps her escape her security detail. Sorry,
no, he doesn't.
Ken. I thought it was by chance.
No, so Han, so Maurice shows up and is like, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna be your protection." Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I scratch that. She ends up going out with Mac, and Mac says, "Hey, your dad's into some deep stuff. You have to take the security detail with you. This is who's going to be your detail." She goes with Mac at one point, or with Maurice at one point, and then she ducks out of the record store to go to get away from him, and she hops into a cab, and Akbar, who is now being played by Jet Li, it was hotwiring the cab and stealing it because he's trying to get to his dad and stuff like that, and that's how she meets him, is in the cab.
Yes. She hops in the cab saying, "Get me out of here." At this point, Jet Li, Han is lying, saying his name is Akbar, so he doesn't.
Technically speaking, he doesn't lie. He's like he just says, "Okay, I'll turn the cab."
That's the name of the cab driver.
Yeah, it's on the placard, and she's like,
"Yeah,
Akbar." Yeah,
I think it's gonna hold up in court, Ken. I got to be honest.
You know, I'm just saying. He didn't. He didn't misrepresent himself.
Well, technically, he did.
Assumed. She assumed.
I-
Okay, she's like,
that-
"Oh,
that
man in the
doesn't
cab
hold
must
up
be
in
a
court at
cabbie,
all.
right? Oh, I see how it is."
I mean, if he agrees to it, I think he misrepresented himself.
So
Yeah,
it's her
He
fault.
even gave her the money back. He's like,
Hey,
"No,
is it a woman? Blame the victim, Ken. You know the rules. You know the rules.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is where you're woke nonsense.
Why did she get in his cab if she wasn't asking for it?
Wait, who has woke nonsense? I'm confused now because
I don't even know
like
who
there's
does
a lot
at this
of
point. Yeah,
like you're both going the other
quite
way.
frankly,
here.
if he was dressed like a cabbie, he was asking for it. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, he was definitely asking. Was he dressed like a cabbie though?
No.
All right. Well, this leads to one of the first scenes with between Trish and Han, and they start to form a friendship. And it turns out Han discovers that the last person to talk to his brother that day was someone that made a phone call from Trish's clothing store. How convenient. All right. So, I thought Ken was going to jump in. All right. So
you pissed him off enough with all your inaccuracies.
I guess so. I'll just keep being inaccurate then. So after that, Colin, Trish's brother, Isaac's son, tells Isaac that he was actually going to meet Poe the night of the murder to discuss information that could, quote unquote, end the war. as that happens that night, Colin is hanging out with his girlfriend. Everybody's having a good time. And Kareem, why don't you talk about Windows real quick? Because now's your chance.
Yeah, he's sitting there doing the Fredo speech. I'm smart. I could run things. I got passed over, kind of thing. He's talking to, I don't know if it's one lady or maybe two ladies.
It's like his girlfriend. She was like,
Is it
"Yeah,
just
you're
his
right."
girlfriend? I didn't know if he was one of the kind of. Yeah,
I
so,
think
but
it's
they're
just
like,
his
I think
significant
they're
other.
doing drugs. Yeah, I don't. I think they're smoking. I think, and I think they're drinking. If not, maybe doing a little bit of coke. But they are, basically showing you the lavish life of what is it called when you nepotism, basically.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if they show you if someone breaks in or not as
They
he's
don't-
giving the speech.
No, they just kind of show you like, someone's
Yeah,
here. Oh no, and then
yeah. Then they cut to the next scene where they are being tossed out of the penthouse window, him and his girlfriend, into I believe the fisherman's wharf below or whatnot, the bay or whatever, underneath the building. And then you get to the next morning where I think Isaac and Mac are already there, and the police are kind of doing their thing of dragging the bodies out of the water. And I believe Aaliyah shows up to at that moment where they're kind of putting the bodies into the ambulance and gives first starts crying, breakdown, and then she immediately goes to anger and blaming her dad for this.
Yes, there's a lot of like hitting, and I do feel like unfortunately we did skip a very important scene.
Sorry, what did we skip? Because
that would be the football scene.
Is that before the murder or after?
I believe it is before the murder, because by the murder, Trish and Han have already teamed up.
You're right, because he is there to console her as she erupts.
So that is my bad. In between the death of Colin and the initial Trish escape from Maurice, there is a scene where Han meets up with Trish in the park when she's like buying ice cream for kids, and she's watching Mac and Maurice and all. Go ahead. Ken.
There's two scenes, because there's a scene where he's like, he gets the information that his brother, he goes back to his brother's place, hits the redial, finds out that it's Sapphire Phoenix or whatever the name of her clothing place is, goes back to it, sees Trish walking out, has a cabbie follow her to her place, and he walks into her home. She just like puts out her groceries, and he just walks into her home, and he's like, I have some questions. It's like, what do you mean you have some questions? Like, what are you doing here? Like, this is you can't just do this. And
you can when your name is Akbar and you drive a taxi. Come on.
Right, exactly.
Pre 9/11, Ken.
Everybody knows taxi law.
Fair enough. And so he just kind of like barges in, but he at least like he wins. He's like, oh, it's about my brother. He passed away. And she's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Like a lot of people call the house, maybe it's, call the shop. And he's like, okay. And so he's gonna leave, and then right then they start to hear Maurice show up, and they're all loud, and all the boys are hanging out, and he's like, okay, no, I've got this. And he's like, okay, take some money. He goes like, and he plays it off as if he's a delivery guy. And I'm like, okay, so this is how he gets away. And then that's when Maurice shows up, and he's like, oh yeah, okay. It starts to talk to Bruce, like, wait, I don't smell any
starts
food.
calling him dim sum.
Yeah, they calls him dim sum.
Hey, dim sum!
Dim sum and dim sum. Yes. And so then that's when they get in a fight in the stairwell, because that's that when he's coming down, he's like, I know a few moves too. Whoops them all, uses zip ties, like hog ties some of the guys. Just real like just
real slapstick comedy
really
through there.
Yeah.
Really whoops his ass. Whoops their ass.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess because to Ken's point, this actually leads to why he wants to whoop the shit out of him at the football game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is why all of them want to get their payback.
Because then it becomes hey, isn't that guy that beat our ass? Oh, he beat my ass. What are you talking about?
He didn't beat my ass.
Yeah. It was true. He didn't. He just beat up everybody else and ran and left. I forget like what the interim is, because at one point, I guess that's there is those other moments, and then they come back to these like, oh, hey, I really need to know my brother, because he goes back and he finds the cane and he finds the list of locations at some point in there too. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what's all this about?
Oh, that's right. Underneath the coke was the piece of paper.
Yeah, underneath the coke.
Yes. The top of the cane opens up, and there is some cocaine in there.
Cocaine?
Cocaine.
And then after that, he looks under the cocaine.
Cocaine.
And there are the locations of just businesses listed around Oakland. Mm-hmm. Turns out those might be the businesses that were being targeted and attacked when they wouldn't sell their property.
Yes. Fast forward to the football game now. Good.
Yeah, so then we get to the football game where Han Akbar catches up with Trish when she's hanging out
Dim
with
Sum.
ice cream. Dim Sum catches up and is just asking if she had a chance to talk to Colin. Colin's not dead at this point, so she could still talk to him. Still alive at that time. Mac sees that she is talking to Han while they are playing football, and then of course Maurice's gang pipes up, "Hey, that's the guy that kicked our ass!" And Maurice did get his ass kicked. They're all liars and thieves. That's what Maurice says. And then Mac invites him.
Because you know kung fu and you beat us at that. We know football and we'll beat you at that somehow.
Yeah. So it becomes the NFL in the 1970s. They start every time they have in the beginning, every time Han touches the ball, they just whoop the shit out of him. Like a lot of clotheslines and stuff, a lot of trash talking. So then Han decides that's cool. So he tosses in the ball, and then they get a little action sequence where he's kicking him in the face and beating him up.
Yeah, a lot of personal fouls.
Spin of the football at the
end. What are your thoughts on these moves in the football scene? Legal or
realistic?
illegal?
Unnecessary roughness? Is that what you make a reference
I love that
to?
movie. That's a great movie.
This guy.
We got to cover that at some point.
Flag,
felt necessary to me.
Yeah, a little bit of Espen it's too much of Espen going down in that game.
Just a little too fist fight.
The name of the game is Hit, okay? That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not getting CTE. Why are you even playing?
Yeah, that makes
sense. Sorry,
sense.
guys. Having 1 second.
But forget the name of the style that they're using, but it's is this movie coming out after Crouching Tiger? Because they use a similar like.
Oh, I mean, now it's called like wuxia, I believe is the term.
It is the name of the style?
More the wire work. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they do use that during the game.
Someone feel free to correct us. Go ahead and comment down in the comment section on YouTube. Please let us know how we can improve.
Yeah. But they do use a similar style during the football scene, which is kind of really felt out of place. But I know maybe it's the juxtaposition between like the way that Maurice and his crew were playing football versus the elegant style of ass whooping that was incorporated in this version of football with Jet Li as well. Who knows? Maybe that was done on purpose, but there was definitely took me out of that scene for a little bit when I'm like, okay, he's just like spinning on top of their heads and shit.
I mean, there was also the wire work at the very first fight with Russell Wong and stuff, whooping ass, and in the beginning he had
still
some
felt
too.
Well, because I felt like that was a fight though. That was like meant to be done for both parties. It was only being done for one party in this one.
I mean, I don't think
it was like Anthony Anderson was doing any wire work in his like tackling.
That's fair. I think just
I guess
the victims in the club definitely had some wire work. Like they got kicked across the room, and they had some wire work done. But
I believe one guy actually does hold up Jet Li to get clothesline. So I take that back.
Yeah.
Pat, what else you got?
Technical issue. Ken,
Okay.
jump in, please.
Okay.
So he kicks their ass in the football game. He
kicks their ass in the football game.
High
and he's
fives
like,
Aaliyah.
okay, American
walk off.
football.
That's
yeah.
right.
He goes back to Aaliyah, and this is where Aaliyah's gonna. She's like, oh, I'll talk to my brother, and he's like, okay, cool. Takes his ice cream and gets out of there. And all the kids, like we also talked about the kids. There's like, I
forgot about that. That's right.
Him have
Yeah,
a little one. Like, I'm like, okay, this is just like a little bit of business for her to have because she's part of the community as
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
opposed to her father, who is bringing it down. At least in her eyes, she's trying to uplift the community and do things with a rec center. I'm sure somewhere. Like that's. I mean, that's
no. Sadly enough, this is the mobster move. She's the Ivanka to his Donald Trumpism. Like she's the face.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I wouldn't.
That makes him.
I don't want to put that on
legit.
her. Okay,
I'm
she's
just
like
saying,
this is.
This
is
what
like
mobsters do.
She's
either
trying
wittingly or
to
unwittingly is a part of it. She may think she's
Fair
being defended, but he's like, "That's perfect. You you defy me. You spit in my face. You make yourself look legit because that makes me look legit. Keep doing it."
Yeah, fair enough. But let's not. You're putting too much positive spin on Ivanka, and that's my problem. Like Ivanka's a monster too. Wait,
Fair enough.
yeah,
fair enough.
Like,
You're right.
At least
I'm just saying it's a mobster like
trying.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a mobster.
You're
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Ivanka's just right in there, just like with the guns, taking the money. Like she's not at all.
But she's smiling while she does it.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah. So I think from there, after she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll talk to my brother." I think right around there is when we cut to. There is a meeting between. I mean, we've missed a couple of the meetings between Isaac and his son Colin, who's played by DB Woodside, and I know him as Robin from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was in that show, and that's where I know him from. Like that's where my brain goes to. But I think like you see him going to meet his dad, and like Max there too. He's like, "Oh hey, Colin Greens," and he's like, "Oh Mac the knife, Mac something." Mac and cheese.
Mac the knife.
No, it goes Black Mac, I think, which doesn't make any sense. I'm like, that's not a cheese. What's going on here?
I mean, he is black, and his name is Mac.
I mean,
there was a white Mac that was cut from the.
Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, it all comes together.
I mean, I think if you said yellow Mac, it'd have been too much on the nose, though.
Fair enough. But yeah, so like there's a few scenes there.
Role,
like,
sorry, go ahead. His most important role is Wayne Palmer, son of President Palmer in 24. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh,
I feel like Pat's going to do this whole 7 degrees of 24 in everything we do.
And
I mean, until we give him a 24 pod, like that's like
fair enough.
What episode are we on? Like we're like the 24th episode of some season. We've got to just go for it and do it.
We'll do it.
Otherwise, he's just gonna be like, well, so there's also this when he was in this. He's also in Lucifer. And
yeah, he's in Lucifer, but I remember him mostly, aside from 24, in Private Practice. That's the Grey's Anatomy spinoff, I believe.
Okay.
So I remember.
Yeah, his top 4 known by for IMDb is Lucifer, 24, Romeo Must Die, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So we are their 4-quadrant demographic of how we know him is that.
Yes.
It was one of them was gonna hit.
Yeah.
We gotta. All right, so he's having a meeting with his dad.
Yes.
They might have to like,
dad.
What I've got plans for something.
Yeah, this is the mobster part where he's like, I am too tarnished as a mob boss in the community.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
Your sister is doing her thing. You're going to be that, I'm going to make us legit. The reason why I'm doing this deal is to then pass off this to you. You just have to be patient. And he's like, but Dad, I could do it. I could be both gangster and do what you're trying to do. And he's like, son, you're an idiot.
He kind of basically is trying to get out of the life so that his son can.
And his son wants to get into the life because he's never had a hard work stay. So,
and because that's just that's how nepotism and gangster movies work.
Yes. And is that when we get to later on that night?
I think that's when he goes. He takes a short flight.
He tries to fly without wings.
Yeah. Can you fly, Bobby?
Can you fly, Bobby?
Clarence, no.
There's a quick. I mean, is this? I'm trying to remember when do we go from Trish and Han. When did they first go to the location and start to do some research? Is that after her brother passes away or before?
Isn't it?
I
think it's before, because when her brother passes away is when she gets put under protection.
Yeah, because she gets real like, yeah.
Yeah, we get minor CSI investigation with Trish and Han.
And that's where.
So
we're
is
also
this
missing
the motorcycle fight scene?
No. I think I've got it. Actually, I think I've got it. The scene that happens is we see a scene where Kai shows up to a boat and it's full of drugs, and they're like, all right, let's get we gotta protect you guys because something's gonna happen. And they're like, what's gonna happen? This, bang, and they grab the guns and the drugs, they set bombs, and they blow up a boat, which in my head questions, because I'm like, it's just a boat, you can just move it, like it's not a building that's stuck there. Also, do you need the deed to the boat? Because why? Like, and it's they end up playing it off as like, oh, at some point the other overlords are going to find out about this, and it's a whole bunch of nonsense of like, well, yeah, they are, and you didn't need to blow up the boat, just move the boat.
You did, Ken. It's a statement piece. You blow up the boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else who wants to dock and live there is like, oh, we can't. Someone just got murdered. Someone blew up here.
Yeah, that's I'm not going to go there. Exactly.
Yeah, but now the pier is yours. It's empty. Everyone left.
Yeah.
They got scared like roaches.
Yep.
Because you had to murder a fool. You had to blow up a boat.
Exactly.
How else are you going to get them to leave, Pat? You tell me, huh, businessman? How are you going to get them to leave?
Money.
Exactly.
They
No, you got no ideas.
They had money. They had drugs. They don't need
what's cheaper
here.
than money? Explosives.
Is it? I don't know how expensive are explosives.
Less than paying off everyone to leave.
All right, fair enough. Blow them up. All right.
And again, how much
You
more
got me
fun
on
is
your side.
how much more fun is it to blow up a boat than to pay people like, all right, here's your money, please leave. You got 30 days. That's lame.
That's true.
Warm up and watch you all leave.
This deal was on the table. They needed to move.
If you're paying, there's gonna be contracts and shit. It's dumb.
It's
Blow
true.
people
A lot
up.
of lawyers.
And you can just go tell the cops like, hey, it's been one of maybe it's just kerosene tank, something like that. Like, hey, who knows? There's no paper trail with the explosive.
What are all these bullets here for, though?
They're speed holes. Those are speed holes.
Oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense.
So it goes faster when they have holes in it.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Have you seen Titanic?
Yep. From
Biggest
there, I think
hole.
we cut to Colin and his girl talking, and he's high off his ass, and he's like, "I've got so many ideas. Like I am an idea.
I'm smart.
and
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like dumb. I'm smart, and I want respect."
and then she goes to answer the door because someone knocks, and then
oops,
they learn if they can
Both
fly.
of them.
They can't.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Again, can you fly, Bobby?
No, he couldn't.
Can't.
The ground, but
sometimes things go bad.
and as we said earlier, it goes up. We went over that scene. Now,
Yeah.
is this now? Do we get to the car chase / bike
Yeah.
fight scene?
I think this is so.
Dance
This is
choreography?
where, she goes and she goes back to Poe's house, which is where Han is living, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my mom and me and my brother played a trick on my mom, and we made her sad, and now
That's
I
right.
get it. This is why she was so sad." And she's like, she hasn't fully entered the top level protection, and so that's where they decide okay, let's go and I got this list of places. Let's go and find out what it is. That's when they go to the chop shop.
Yes.
And they're looking around like, oh, there's a lot of dead people here. Let's just keep looking around because that's what you do.
A lot of corpses. Keep going.
Yeah, a lot of corpses. The thing, and then as they're going out the side, cars start pulling away, and then 2 motorcycles come to. Like, wait, there's still somebody alive. Let's go back and kill him. Bang, 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 bang.
As
Just like
one
that.
does.
Yeah, like you do.
Now these are the imported Chinese assassins, correct?
We don't know yet because they've got to chase him down. And this is the part that gets me too. Is they got to chase him down because they're wearing helmets. We don't know who they are. That could be the black gang. It could be the Chinese gang. We don't know. We got to go and find them. So we end up chasing them down. The 2 motorcycles start chasing us down because they run out of there in a car and stuff. And at one point they knock one of the motorcyclists off because they're doing all kind of car stuff and they fall off. And I'm like, if you just go over and grab that dude who got knocked off, you can just find out who it is right there. Instead,
They're being chased, Ken.
Yeah, I know. They enter a chicken fight with the one who's still alive. And I'm like, just he's right there. Just go get him. The one on the floor. And they get in a chicken fight and they finally get to them. And this is where we get a fight where Han will not hit a woman.
We get a gentleman in the room.
They start fighting and
I would
helmet
slap
comes
the
off
bitch.
and it's a woman. And I think it's the woman who was in with Poe at the very beginning of the movie, but I might be racist and I'm not sure. So, but I thought it was
could
her.
be true.
So Ken said racist things and thinks all women all Chinese women in this movie look the same. But Han uses Trish as a weapon since he can't punch her. He just uses her fist to punch her, which is really embarrassing for the other girl because she's supposed to know how to fight and she got her ass kicked by someone basically being marionetted.
Yes,
it's true.
It's embarrassing, and
that's how much more impressive Han is. Apparently,
I mean. Frankly, that should probably end her career if she didn't die at the end.
I think she just gets beat up, or does she die?
And we didn't even talk about because that's the second time we get the Mortal Kombat style like skeleton inside someone. Like I'm gonna break their arm. Skeleton inside.
That's right. They do the X-ray.
Yeah, the X-ray.
X-ray in. This is how the bone breaks. Which, like, then later on, I think like Mortal Kombat 11. That's literally the entire game. It's just watching X-ray.
Yes, like I mean, it was Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat, but like that's the thing that I would see later on. I'm like, oh, the two wires would connect finally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of early 2000s action stuff. It really finds a home here. Like you see a lot of like the proto versions of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she she gets beaten up with Trish's fist via Han's moves. And then I believe at that point, where are we at now? I've lost it.
So
Once again,
after that, I think he goes
difficulties.
back. I think Trish goes home maybe to see her dad or something. And then Han goes to confront his father. Yeah, Han goes to confront his father and is like, hey.
Yes.
And at some point in there too, there was a time where when Han first shows up, he and Kai are like, I knew you'd show up because at the funeral, he's like, oh, I knew you'd show up. And they do a little fight and stuff. And Han's like, I thought you would have got soft in prison. He's like, no, you don't get soft in prison. And he shows the glasses because he's like, Kai, you moron. I have your glasses.
They were friendly at least at the beginning.
Yeah, they have a little bit more of that kind of tete-a-tete, like, sidestepping each other. Like, you're supposed to be protecting the family and who's doing what here. But yeah, so Han kind of accuses his father, like, hey, like, someone, like, this entire place was killed and it was Chinese. He's like, oh, no, it couldn't be one of the overlords. They wouldn't do this. And
no, it was probably Isaac hiring contractors. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's what he says. He's like,
yeah,
no, he got another. He imported his own. Why not?
Yeah. He went down to Southern California, got Chinatown to come up.
I believe this the point then where that Trish is under basically house arrest from her father?
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like they're playing Madden.
Was there another inciting incident like
These
after
nuts in
the
your
barbershop?
mouth.
Yeah,
there it is.
Put them in your mouth.
These nuts in your mouth. I said, put the nuts in your mouth. Why y'all not working?
Let's get to the important part where Anthony Anderson is playing Madden. And
hey man, he's got to earn that paycheck. Don't hate the man.
He almost lost the game because he was too busy celebrating, and they almost caught up behind him and flanked him and caught his ass. So that's why you spam the X button. You don't celebrate till you're in the end zone.
Hey, but when you got a line that sweet, don't you? You got to use.
That's fair. Well, I think the fact he could pick up like mixed nuts and throw them in his mouth as he said it.